Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. When we went to break, I was talking to Dr. George Woods about how he ended up in medical school and some of the people who have influenced him. And we were just talking about Dr. John Norton, a urologist, formerly practiced urology right here in Oakland. Now, what impact did John have on you? John Norton, Dr. Norton.
Well, as I said, I really didn't have any experience around medicine, had never planned on it. I chose to do medicine rather than psychiatry. And during that year that I was interning, John Norton taught me how to treat people. John Norton taught me that you treat people with respect. He taught me that you are humble, that you are a servant. You are not, you're a servant leader. And he was so brilliant and thoughtful that he really made me understand what it meant to become a doctor.
And that's so important because you've heard of doctors, some doctors, who just have no, quote, bedside manners. They don't know how to treat people. They just treat you any old kind of way. Of course, that's not Dr. Norton, nor is it Dr. Woods. But Dr. Woods, how did you end up in psychiatry of all things?
Well,
we need a lot more black psychiatrists, as you well know.
Right. You know, I in my undergraduate, my minor was in psychology. And frankly, it was a minor that made me interested in school. Before that, I was there to play ball. And I had another mentor, Gene Banks, who was my first psychology professor. And I can remember one night staying up all night and him telling me about the history of psychology and particularly black psychology, Frantz Fanon, the famous French psychoanalyst. And so I was fascinated by psychology. But I was also, frankly, afraid of medicine. Right?
Afraid of medicine?
I was afraid of medicine. I didn't know. I figured, okay, well, I know a little bit about psychology, but, all these people that were there for medicine, they were doing medicine, I didn't know about the biology and that. And so it took me 6 years to get through medical school. I had mentors in medical school that worked with me afterwards, and I ended up graduating fourth in my class. But it took me 6 years to get through because I had to learn all of these things that others knew. And Dr. Norton was the cherry on the cake. He made me proud to be a doctor and to really understand. And he also introduced me to the United Farm Workers. And during my psychiatric residency, I worked as a family practitioner for the United Farm Workers, riding a Winnebago through Southern California, treating farm workers. So he really gave me that understanding of servant leader.
Now, you are the current, or past president of the International Academy?
Both past and current. This is my second, they actually asked me to stay for another round.
You're so good they won't want to do it again. All right. That's International Academy of Law and Mental Health.
Correct.
Right. You also lecture, I understand, at UC Berkeley Law.
I teach at Berkeley. I've been there for 10 years, teaching law and mental health. I taught at Morehouse for 15 years. Well, I taught both forensic psychiatry and geriatric psychiatry.
Well, I wish I'd had you there when I was there. I was at Berkeley, Berkeley Law, and we could have used a person like you.
Well,
no
unfortunately, but I'm still seeing very few. I think during the period that you were there, and John Burris and some of the other, really luminaries of our society, that was really a wonderful time at Berkeley for people of color, and it really gave us that combination of first-class education and the drive that we all have. I'm My family's from Colt, Arkansas. I know your family.
Arkansas, all right.
I know.
All right.
I know you.
Goodbye,
Yeah,
Arkansas.
my dad actually helped build the clock tower.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, in Arkansas, and so we have that in common. And to also get the quality education, really makes such a significant difference.
Absolutely. Now, talking about Arkansas and talking about earlier, we talked on the other segment, Black History. Right. What does Black History Month mean to you personally?
Well, Black history means that we only have 1 month a year where we actually have American history. That's really what it means to me.
I like that. That Black history means we only have 1 month where we have American history. On that note, we're going to have to, and we will return to that and have a fuller explanation. But on that note, we do have to go to break whether we like it or not. We got to go to break. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and I'm speaking with Dr. George Woods. We will be right back with All About Community.